Hi everybody, it's Donna Doodlebug Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. Today is Monday, January 7th, so Happy New Year everybody. I apologize, I'm coming to you a little bit later than I had planned. I had planned to record this weekend, but I have not been feeling well and I wasn't feeling it. And I apologize because I'm like, oh, I'm just not feeling it right now. Still in a lot of pain. The meds have helped. Unfortunately, I've got to take the Vicodin almost every night to sleep, which isn't good because I don't want to really build a dependence on that. But at the same time, it's helping. I've stopped coughing for the most part. I still have an issue every once in a while, so when I do, I pop one of my Zyrtex. So I'm hoping that the lack of coughing will kind of help these abdominals heal. But the best thing that they said that can be done is just to sit and rest. So it is what it is. Sitting and resting sounds like stitchy time to me. I mean, it is a stitchy channel and this is Flosstube, so we're going to talk about stitching. So if you're new to me, welcome. Happy 2019. Thank you so much for taking the time to at least watch. Hopefully, if you like it, you'll subscribe. I'm hoping to, once I get to, my subscribers are close to 300, so when I hit 300, I'll be doing a pretty decent giveaway for my 300 viewers. So, you know, tell your friends, suggest my channel. I would love to have more of you watch. So, if you've been with me since the beginning, thank you so much. You know I love you. The hat is on because my hair is a hot mess today. Come here, Poppy. So a lot's happened since I last talked to you. So my last recording was on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day was pretty uneventful. And then on Wednesday, the 2nd, I went to log in for work and nothing was working and made phone calls. Now, I was working through it was a contract position. So I was working with a recruiter. And so I contacted my recruiter. They were like, we don't know what's going on. So a couple hours went by and then I got an email response from the client's IT department saying that I needed to contact the recruiter's office. And I found out that, lo and behold, that the client suddenly, without any notice, ended or stopped the contract temporarily, which basically meant that I was again not working. So we're in the process of trying to find another job. In fact, I'm waiting for a phone call because I was like, you know, I don't care if it's not, I don't care if I have to go out and work at a job. I just need a paycheck. So we're waiting to hear on that because the original client that I was working for, they're not anticipating the project's restarting again until sometime in February. And I'm like, I can't go 6 to 8 weeks without a paycheck. So that's where I'm at right now. So Poppy, pardon me for a second. The dog has decided that since I'm recording, she's going to be acting like a crazy dog. Sit. Here, turn around and look at everybody. Show them how pretty of a baby you are. She's my precious. She behaves for me. It's like she's such a good dog and we have such a routine, and then as soon as Jeff and McKenna get home, it's like all heck breaks loose and like everything. She was so good and, you know, potties outside in a timely fashion, and then as soon as they get home, she like then has an accident in the house. I think it's because she's, you know, she's used to it being quiet and everything during the day, and then when they get home, it's so chaotic. It kind of like makes her a little crazy. Right, baby? All right, you gonna move so that Mommy can talk about stitching? Why don't you come over here and get on your blanket? She likes to lay on the couch, like right next to me, and I usually put a blanket there. Lay down. Lay down. Yes. So if you hear anything, toys, she's just playing. So anyway, that's what's going on in my week. I thought that this week, because I've recently signed up or decided to go in on a challenge that Michelle Bendy had talked about. Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett. And this, I'm sorry, I'm on my phone because I'm trying to pull it up now. Give me 1 second and I will tell you. So this is the Stitch 9 challenge, and it was originally started by Farm Girl Stitcher on Instagram, and also through her Facebook group, which is Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat, I believe it is. But Michelle Bendy had talked about it on her Instagram account, and then there's a hashtag, which is the hashtag is Stitch the number 9 challenge. And basically it's asking you to challenge yourself to finish 9 projects, only 9, in the year, okay, between now and December 31st. So I thought, well, how hard can that be? So I really had to go through and think about the ones that are that were whips, stuff that I've recently started, stuff that has been started, and stuff that I knew I could easily get finished this year. So I chose my 9, and I'm going to show them to you today. In those 9 are the 2 projects that I've worked on in the last week, because they are the projects I started on New Year's Day. So we'll just get into that. If you'd like to join the Stitch 9 challenge, if you go to Instagram and search for hashtag Stitch the number 9 challenge, you can follow that hashtag. You can join in, post your pictures, and post your pictures along during the year as you complete these projects. So I hope you enjoy it and follow along. So the first project is one that I started on New Year's Day. I talked about it before. It is the Halloween Quaker by Lila Studios, and I am stitching it on a different fabric than it's called for. So it's called for a 40 count fabric. I prefer 36, so I went with a 36 Alchemy fabric. And I started and stitched this during most of the week last week. So I started it on New Year's Day, which was Tuesday. And I stitched on it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this is 4 days worth of stitching that I got done. And I will show you the section that I was able to complete. And so I got the witch done, the moon done, the bats just above the witch, and some of the Quaker motifs. This little owl is almost complete, and I started this Quaker design here. So I'm really happy with how this is stitching up. I'll be working on it again this week a little bit. So I'm really happy with that. Poppy, what are you doing? Where's your toys? She's running all around the living room right now. We did finally get the tree. As you can see, there is Christmas still up in the house. So the tree got taken down on Saturday, and the ornaments put away, and I was spent at that point. So the other stuff will get put away. I've got the bins up here to put them away, so that'll hopefully get done this week. So forgive me. It can be Christmas all year round for as much as I care, because I love my decorations. So second project was a New Year's Day start. This is a stitch along going on the Little House Needleworks and Country Cottage Needleworks Facebook group. Vanna Epperson challenged us to pick one of 4 designs. I picked Winter ABCs and started it on New Year's night. So I started this like after dinner on New Year's Day. And I'm gonna grab one of my bags because I don't have my board here. Well, I do have it, but it's all the way up across the, it's across the way. It's across the table. So this is how much I've gotten done so far. So this has been like an evening stitch. So during the week, so I started it Tuesday night. So Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and then all day, or Saturday, I shouldn't say all day. It was Saturday afternoon and then all day yesterday because I had to rip a couple of areas out because I messed up. This line right here, I stitched one extra square or one extra stitch down of the brown, and I didn't feel like ripping that out, so I just adjusted the pattern a little bit. When I initially did it, it made everything down a stitch, and I was like, that's not gonna work. So I ripped out, luckily I hadn't done this part yet. So I just ripped that out and then restitched it. And then yesterday, it took me a long time to do this because I was in, again, a lot of discomfort and everything. So I stitched this part, and then I realized there's 3 colors of DMC that this called for, and I had none of them in my DMC stash. So I had to, after drop off this morning, I had to run to AC Moore and pick up the 3 colors, which are these 3 colors that I needed, so then I can finish working on the house. And then as you can see, I changed the colors of the lettering to a DMC, and I can't, at this time, it's buried. I can't tell you. It's a gray. I want to say it's 4 something. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you. You know what I'll do is I'll post it in the comments. So down below, I'll post it what my changes are on this. But I decided to do the letters. It's called for to stitch all of the letters and the words in the white, and I just liked the letters a little bit darker so you could see them better. And I'm really liking how fast this is stitching up. So that's where I've gotten so far on that. So that's, we're now in 2. So that's project number 2 of the 9. Project number 3 of the 9, I talked about this last year. I started stitching this right before school started. And originally, before I went back to work, this was my in the car project for when I was doing afternoon pickups. And since we're not doing that anymore, I haven't really touched it since, I'm going to say October, November was the last time I stitched on this. So my goal is to get Knee High by Hands On Design done during the year. And I did take it off the Q snaps to show you how much progress I had gotten made on it. My hands aren't functioning today. I'm wondering if there's not something else going on with me. I feel like maybe like Lyme disease or something because I'm just so achy. Not that I want to have Lyme disease, but so that's how far I've gotten. Poppy, what are you doing? She's trying to get a unicorn out of her. I've got this like round flannel bucket that I keep all of her toys in. It's over on the bookshelf underneath the TV. And she's trying to there's a unicorn she got for Christmas, and she's trying to get it out of there. What are you doing? You have toys on the floor. Huh? Come here. You want to sit with me? Here, you sit up here. Sit right there. Here, I'll move over a little bit, okay? So that was project 3. Project 4 will be ongoing because my goal is to finish. Poppy, Hey, my goal is to finish all of the monthly year of celebrations. So I've already finished this one, and so I have February to start, which I might be starting to work on today, either today or tonight. So this is all of my flosses. I am doing a lot of color changes or floss changes with this, because a lot of what was picked by Kathy is weeks, and as you know, I prefer not to stitch with weeks. They're great. I love the colors. I have a harder time stitching with that thread for some reason. So if I have the opportunity to switch it, I typically do. So that is that project. So that's project number 4. Hey, get off my table. She's trying to climb up on the table. Project number 5, you saw this last week. My goal is to finish that this year. Blackbird Designs winter delivery. I did stitch a little bit more on it last week before I put it away. So that is where I'm at with it. I love this fabric so much, and I really am happy with how this is looking. Really, really, really. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. So we're more than halfway through. This will be project 6, which is Peace on Earth. This will probably be one of my first finishes of the 9, because this was the Peace on Earth sale that started last year. I kind of pooped out at the end. My goal was to have it finished for Christmas, but when I really started feeling bad in November, it went, it kind of got pushed to the side, as did everything else. And so there's not that much left to do on it. You can see, ooh, hello. Just hold that up there. So you can see, I don't really have that much left. I have the white to do here and down here, which is basically just snowflakes. And I have to finish the greenery of the pine tree up here. So really not a lot left. Really super happy with how this worked out. So yeah, I think that will be probably the first one that actually finishes of the 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's 6. I have no idea how to count. Anyway, number 7, Plum Street Samplers Harvest Keeper. I have been working on this, it seems like forever. Again, I was really, trucking along on it, and then I kind of pooped out. But with how much I have left to do, I really want to get it done. This is a pretty bigger piece. This is stitched on Picture This Plus Wren, 36 count. And you can see how much I've gotten done on it. I love this piece. It gave me a little bit of a headache because as I came around and did the border, it wasn't matching up. And so I had to figure out where. I ended up having to rip out like almost 2/3 of the border to fix it. And so I ended up having to replace a lot of my overdyes because I then didn't have enough. So that is going to be finished this year. This piece will be a framed piece. I know that for sure, because of size and because I know where I want to hang it. And then the next two are ones that I've had kitted up that, well, one is kitted and ready to go. The other one I still need to kit, but I know I need to do it this year because it's going to be a teacher gift for my daughter at the end of the school year. So this is the one that I gave my daughter a couple of school ones to pick for her teacher this year, and this is the one that she decided that she wanted. Let me take it out of the plastic. I always forget to take them out of the plastic so that there's no glare. So my apologies. I haven't decided if I'm going to stick with the dark fabric or if I'm going to do something else with it. See, there's still a glare. It's because the photo's glossy. But this is an old one. This is number 7, chart number 7 from Lizzie Kate, and I hunted for this one because this was not one that I had bought back in the day. And when Lizzie Kate initially announced her retirement, I went back through and looked at it, and I'm like, oh, now that I have a child and everything, I would have loved to have this. So I hunted for it and was able to get it, and I was super thrilled. But this is a chart that I can definitely hang on to because this I could stitch over and over. But it allows you to put the teacher's name and the year underneath. It's hard to tell because this is on dark colors. So I'm thinking I might go with a little bit lighter, like a chalkboard type fabric that will show the colors not as intensely as like a black. So I'm really, really super excited to stitch that. So that one I need to find the right shade of chalkboard fabric, and then pick my floss colors to stitch for her teacher. And then the last one was one I kitted up, and I talked about it towards the end of last year as one I wanted to do. And so I definitely want to get this one stitched up and done. This is Little House Needleworks Lantern Lane, and I have everything kitted up, so I'm stitching it with, I did do some changes with the floss colors, which I can show you. So I'm stitching it on 32 count Country French Cafe Mocha from White Jilt. So I'm stitching it on that, and then I'm using, I think they're all Classic Colorworks. Some of them I needed to get. Some of them I had already. Cocoa Bean, Black Coffee, and Pea Pod, and then these are the other colors that I chose, which are slightly different than the charted. So I'm excited to do that. And then what my plans are is that I'm going to do one of those decision roulette wheels, or decision roulette. Again, tired, lack of caffeine. I'm going to do one of those wheels for these 9 projects, and that way I can spin. So one week of the month will always be the hands-on design year of celebrations, because I need to do one of those every month. And then the other 3 weeks are going to be whatever I spin. With the caveat that this has to get started and finished relatively quickly, because the end of the school year is in early June. So we'll, play it by ear. And then I do have plans in Mania, and I showed it in my last video. The Prairie Schooler design that I got, the Christmas miniatures, that chart, that entire chart is going to be what I do for Mania this year. So I've already decided to make it easy on myself because it's small, it's lots of smalls, and that way I get all of the designs done for Mania. So, that's easy, that it's now January and May is 4 months away, and I already know what I'm doing for Mania. So one less thing to worry about. So, in the mail this week, I didn't get I got a few things. So I'm going to show you last weekend when I talked about going to Winneter for their Yuletide. So what happened is that while I was there, I had started to post pictures to Instagram. And I was getting these Instagram comments going, you win, or you won, or you win. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So I didn't find out until after we got home, and after, because we were at the museum for most of the afternoon, and then I picked up dinner and we came home and we ate, and then I didn't really get online to start looking at stuff until after dinner. And that was when I found out that last week, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, so this was the Saturday before New Year's, in Priscilla and Chelsea's video, that's Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, that they had announced a winner from the previous week. They were giving away 2 charts from Teresa Kogut, and one was a punch needle and the other was a cross stitch. And so for the cross stitch one, they picked me. I was like super excited. So I messaged Priscilla and Chelsea and gave them my mailing information, and they sent me my prize, which I got on Saturday. And it is this beautiful design, Winter Blessings. And I apologize for the reflection. Again, the plastic. Y'all need to remind me to take them out. Leave me a comment and say, Donna, remember, take them out of the plastic. So that's the chart. Super, super cool, because I don't have a lot of snowmen designs. I used to. But again, the flood kind of wiped out my collection of snowmen charts. It's a shame, because I had all of the Fancy That Snowmen of the Month. I had all of those. So, you know, but my tastes have changed over time. So, you know, it now allows me to kind of find and get other things. And so I got that. And then I got a couple of other things that I had purchased. So I posted this on Instagram. These are from Flying Frog Stitchery. I had been eyeing this needle minder, which is Mary Poppins, especially with the release of the movie. And I ordered that, and then she sent me this Siren Bucks coffee, which I love because it's Ariel. I love Starbucks, and I love the Little Mermaid, so it's perfect. So I got those from Flying Frog, so thank you so much. And then I had found a new to me fabric dyer, and I joined her Facebook group, and she does, it's called Mystic Fabrics. She's on Facebook. Go ahead and search her. And so I signed up for her Fabric of the Month Club, and I got the first fabric, which is absolutely gorgeous. I went with their 32 count opal linen, and this is a fat quarter. Let me open this up to show you. Could you die? Look at those colors, and look at the sparkle. Oh yeah. Again, not functioning. Look at the sparkle. Can you see it? It's hard to see in this light, but there is sparkle there. Let me flip it over and see if you can see it there. I just love it. I'm usually not like a pink and purpley person, but this is really, really pretty. See that big blob of like purpley pink? I'm loving that. And I love this green up top here. Super, super pretty. So I'm sure that at some point I'm going to come across the right chart this fabric would be perfect for. I'm thinking a mermaid of some sort. So we'll wait and see. Some sort of an aquatic delight of some sort. So I was super excited to get that. I'm hoping in the next couple weeks to start getting, there's lots of floss of the month and fabric of the month clubs that I started up for this year. So I'm hoping that they'll be starting to arrive here very soon. The Color and Cotton Club from Crazy Annie's, I've already paid for that, so I'm hoping that ships soon. I'm waiting for invoices from her. I think they're coming on the 15th for the fabric of the month. I'm also doing Needlecraft Corners fabric of the month, which is also Picture This Plus, but the colors that they're offering in theirs are, almost all of them are different than what Annie is offering, so I'm going to be getting a lot of Picture This Plus, which I'm super excited about because I went with the primitive, so I'd have a lot of neutrals. And then I have my Mystic fabric of the month. I have my Under the Sea fabric of the month, and I have my Victorian Motto fabric of the month. So that's 5 fabrics of the month. I'm not doing any more. Not right now, not until I know what's going on job-wise. And then I wanted to show you this. I kept thinking I showed this to you, and I went back through several videos, and I didn't see it. So this was I think like a one-off from Color and Cotton. She had some like Oops fabrics, and this is a 40 count Newcastle. It's a fat quarter, but it's super pretty, and it looks more, on camera it looks more green. Do you see that in that light? It looks more green, but it really isn't. In person, it's more of like a coffee color, and it has like tinges of blue and black in it. It's really, really pretty. And I thought that I picked it up for a steal because she had it on sale. And so I thought that it would maybe look really good for something like fallish. So again, adding that to my fabric. My goal is this year is to really build my fabric stash and continue to add my floss stash. So charts, not so much. I am doing, I talked about those 9. There is one other project that is going to be started this year. I didn't include it in the 9 because I don't know how frequently I'll be able to pick up the charts. So those of you who follow By the Bay Needlearts, you know about the Harbor Haven series. There were 12 charts in the series, and you could sign up and get them every month. So I was late to that party, and I became obsessed with Jan Hicks Creates, and her Harbor Haven series, which she just recently finished. I think she finished it just before leaving for Hawaii or while she was in transit to Hawaii. But go and watch her videos and go and follow her Instagram, and you can see her progression. Oh my God, fell in love. And so I contacted Donna at By the Bay and asked her if she was going to be releasing these charts, and she said yes after the first of the year. So went to her Etsy shop, and she is going to be releasing 2 charts per month on her Etsy chart of that series. So I bought chart number 1 and 2, which are on their way to me. And then I also reached out to, was putting feelers out to get a piece of fabric, because one thing that I loved about Jan's piece was her piece of fabric, and that was a crossed wing collection piece of fabric. For some reason, I had it in my head that crossed wing didn't dye fabric anymore. Not the case. Jan and I were talking and chatting through Instagram chat, And she's like, you should reach out to them because I think that they still dye fabric. She goes, in fact, recently I think somebody contacted me. So I contacted that Paula, and sure enough, they are still dyeing fabric. So I told her what I was trying to dye on it. I sent her pictures. She knew exactly what I needed. They are dyeing me a piece of 32 count in that colorway. So while mine will look similar to Jan's, it'll probably look a little different because the dye pattern will be different. But I'm super, super thrilled about it. So I have that coming, and so that'll be a project that will in fact be worked into the Stitch 9 challenge, as far as a project that will be started in 2009. Not necessarily a part of the challenge because it won't get finished in 2009, but I'm excited to do that. So those are my goals. I hope to stay on point with them. I'm sure as the year progresses, there'll be charts and things that are coming out, like the new series for Little House Needleworks, the Christmas Tree Farm. I'm signed up through Trish at 3 Owls. I'm signed up to get that series, just the charts, because I'll get the charts and then I'll put them away, and they'll be, you know, part of they'll get kitted up and be ready to go once I'm ready, once I start getting more projects finished. And I'm sure that there'll be other charts and things that'll come out that I'll be interested in. But what I talked about today, those are my goals for this year. I know everybody talks about like their word of the year or their color of the year, those types of things. And I don't do resolutions, but I try to set a goal and achieve it. If you call that a resolution, then okay, call it a resolution. But to me, it's more of like being accountable for a goal. And so my word of the year for 2019 is going to be persistence. So I'm going to be very persistent in everything that I do, focusing on my family, focusing on my health. I'm going to be persistent in my cross stitch. I'm going to be persistent in keeping up with my house. I'm going to be persistent in you know, my job. So persistence is my word of the year. Call me out on it if you don't see me being persistent with things when I film on Flosstube. I just realized this right here, that was my Christmas present from my husband. So I'll flick it around there so you can see it. Super, super nice. And this flips open. Love it. He hates where it is right now because I sit in this chair when I stitch, and I have to like sit a certain way so that the light doesn't hit him when he's sitting on the couch. We'll figure it out. So in the meantime, I didn't talk about this in a previous video, but our couch is broken. Something in the frame broke, and the couch like collapsed like a few days before Christmas. So we right now have it temporarily kind of rigged up so you can sit on the couch and it not fall. But we're going to have to buy a new couch at some point. So that's why I have to be persistent with finding a job so that I can pay for a new couch. So when we do get the new couch, things will work a little bit differently. I'm thinking, I've been looking at these couches that have like the long piece, like the kind of like lounge. Kind of looks like an L, but not really. It's like a couch with like a little ottoman at the end. And I'm thinking that I can maybe put the stitching light on that side, and that way it wouldn't be in his eye line. And so we'll see what that works out like. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. It's about 40 minutes, so it's 10 minutes more than I wanted it to be. I will go ahead and update you throughout the week on Instagram and my progression. I will be back this week, probably the weekends, maybe Monday, depending on what's going on with working. But I will show you the decision roulette wheel or relay wheel. I will show you what I'm working on, and hopefully I'll have some new stuff to show you. In the meantime, I hope that your New Year's is going great. I wish you nothing but the best in 2019, and my love to you all. Have a wonderful and fabulous stitchy week. So, my love. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.